Hey guys, I'm Anna from Nocturnal, and today I'm going to show you how to sound design a science fiction scene using sounds we found on the internet. So let's start by watching the scene and just picking out some sounds that we might need. So we've got underwater, we've got these sort of zapping sounds. He comes out of the water, we're going to want that. Splashing around, these little creatures are zapping him, so we're going to want all that. The timer is ticking. Here everything kind of dies down a little bit. Maybe the splashing stops, quiets down, and a little bit of intensity builds as it nears his eyeball. So let's start with the splashing sounds. So these are all sounds that I downloaded for free. Let's throw some of these in. Great. This one sounds like it's kind of already coming from underwater, so let's put this one right as he comes out from underwater. Maybe have that last little hit as he comes out of the water. What else have we got? Let's add some more splashing sounds. Cool, so this will work great when he's kind of waving his arms around and splashing around in the tub. So let's just cut that out a little bit and then bring it back in right when he starts waving his arms around again. Cool, and so here he's not splashing around anymore, so somewhere over where this timer happens, we can kind of fade out those sounds so that we forget about them and focus on just the timer. Let's add some more water sounds. So let's layer that in right as he's popping out of the water. Cool. What's next? We've got... Cool, so a lot more of that tinny sort of splashing around sound. So we can emphasize some of these arm flails using that sound right here, like this big one that hits almost the camera. So let's put a marker on that. That'll be a splash. Here we've got a couple. Let's just cut that where the splash starts and move that into where that marker is. Cool, and we can fade it out a little bit faster too so it doesn't create this like muddy sound. Let's hear what they both sound like. Great. So this sound can maybe even be a little bit quieter since we now have emphasized those bigger splashes with that other sound effect. And maybe let's just muffle it a little bit using an EQ so that it's not quite so in the forefront like those other sounds. Great. Let's get another one of these splashes in here. That's a perfect sound for when he emerges out of the water. Let's see what it sounds like. That's perfect. So now with everything else. Cool. And we've got our water splashing. So let's move on to some of these shock sounds. Great. So this one's sort of like a sustained ambient static sound. So let's put this maybe just in the background. Let's use a different one. It's got a weird beginning, so let's just cut that out. Nice, so it's got kind of a lot of layers within just that sound effect. You want them all to be distinct, otherwise they're all kind of gonna blend together and be kind of muddy. And fade it out when it ends. And maybe let's use a different sound effect. Oh, that's great, awesome. Great, and then we'll just copy this and put it here. And let's do another one where we actually see that on screen. We want to add sound effects that we're not necessarily seeing to fill in the space, but we also definitely want to have the ones that we do see on screen. Otherwise, it sounds like something is missing. Oh, right here, missed one. So let's add another layer right here where they both shock him from both sides. So I'm actually just going to duplicate these tracks. Let's throw it in here, and then let's actually pitch shift this a little bit just to give that sound a little bit of variation. And right in this gap right here, I almost want to have another sound effect just to show that this is still happening even when we're not seeing it. So somewhere around here. And that prompts him to move his arm, so that makes sense. All right, so next, let's do the scanner sound effect. Let's just work our way through the scene. So this sound This works great for this ending right here. So let's just cut out that beginning and put this in right as we start to have this one robot arm on the right-hand side kind of move towards him. Maybe let's use this ending bit right here, right as the laser comes out. Can crossfade that. So I'm going to fade this up. And let's add a little bit more texture to that. So let's use this other sound. So this is a great tension builder, little accent. Let's put that right where it hits the peak of that sound. Right about there, and then we can just fade it out. But that helps build towards this moment. Great. Right when we get that close up of the timer, we kind of want this like ethereal, eerie timer sound. So and also let's add some reverb to that to make it more ambient. That's a little too much. But let's add the ticking a little bit longer. We can kind of fade it out as we go. But because that ticking is still there, it kind of helps keep up the tension for this ending bit. And let's add some ambience in right here just to fill out the scene a little bit more. Let's see which part of this sounds best. Sort of this drony, ethereal thing, but builds a little bit here. So let's use that ending, like right around here, and then just bring out the beginning. And that can just be our ambience for under the whole scene. Let's see, we've got some more alien clicks, so let's add these as accents. I like that part, that sounds gross. Let's use it. Maybe some of these other ones. It's kind of like a heartbeat sound. And that can kind of almost be a build as we rise up out of this water. Just very, very faint in the background. Cool, so let's just use one of these sound effects and bring it right as this is rolling out these blades. It's a little too long, so maybe let's cut it a little bit sooner. Maybe add a little bit of these latch clicks as well. Layered in with these other clicks. One last thing I want to add here is that underwater sound effect at the beginning, the ambience of the space. All right, so that's pretty much it. So let's just go through and watch the scene and see what we're missing and what we've got. So this is pretty much done. You could add a lot more things to this, including more sound effects, more ambient noise. You definitely want to add some sort of music. You'd want to have his breathing sounds, and you'd want to, of course, mix that all together and make sure the levels of everything sound okay. But this is a great starting point, and it's all using free sound effects. If you like content like this, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe Deity Microphones on all social media platforms. And leave us a comment below on what you want to see in the next video, and the best comment will win a vlog. I'm Anna from Nocturnal, and thank you for watching.